Hey everyone, and welcome to Key West, Florida. This is the southernmost city in the continental United States, and it's located just about 90 miles north of Cuba. It's most famous for its laid-back vibe, tropical culture, as well as colorful architecture. One of the other interesting things about Key West is that oftentimes you'll see these sunset celebrations. They have a lot of interesting tour guides on boats and ships and things like that. Well, they'll center the main events around the sunset, which is pretty cool. This right here, we're looking at literally the southernmost point in the US, just 90 miles to Cuba. It's an absolutely stunning day today. It's going to be 84 degrees, bright sunshine, but it is humid. Another thing about Key West is you'll see all of these roosters and these chickens all over the place, which is kind of cool. They'll be jumping around, flying in and out of the trees. It's a pretty unique experience. So we're going to be walking around the town today. We'll be checking out Duval Street. And let's see if we can get close to the water, just so you can see how clean it is. Now, I drove here from downtown Miami, and it took just over 3.5 hours. Drive wasn't that bad at all, and it's an extremely scenic drive. So if you're thinking about visiting Miami, I would highly recommend making sure that you make sure as well to visit Key West, maybe rent a car or something like that, because the drive isn't that bad. It's not that bad at all. You have a lot of these cafe bars and restaurants that are lining the different streets, so many different coffee shops. It's a big bar culture here. Yesterday I was walking around by the US Coast Guard station, which was very, very unique to see in person. We'll take one more look at the southernmost point of the US and then we'll head out. Beautiful palm trees. Yesterday I think I saw one of the best sunsets I've ever seen in my life. Very cool. Let's see if we could walk out on the pier a little bit. And we'll go ahead and have a look at what it says. Man, the weather is just amazing. It's definitely a major change from being in New York. In New York, everyone seems to be in a rush. Here, it's quite literally the opposite. Now, as we walk northbound, we're going to head up Duval Street. And we're going to head by the Marina. And the Marina, you're going to see so many different boats, fishing vessels, as well as wildlife. There's so many different fish. I went snorkeling yesterday. Tons to see.
My secret of photography is take a bunch and you edit later. Yeah, just slide over this side and then you kind of bring the one on each side. There you go. Put your frame in there. There you go. And you got 100 feet. You can fix that one. Smile. There you go.
It's about 8:55 a.m. I really like these beach houses. Such interesting architecture. Now, the first thing I thought when I was looking at these yesterday is how have they survived all of the hurricanes over the years? I mean, they don't look like concrete block homes. These look like very, very old, almost like colonial style. It's quite interesting. Across the street you have the southernmost beach resort at Key West. Here's some more of these beautiful houses that have been converted into hotels, motels, different places to stay. We'll quickly make a right and just explore down here a little more. Also, yesterday, I walked by Jimmy Buffett's old recording studio, which was pretty cool to see in person. This is now South Street. And it's very quiet and peaceful down here. Not so much at night though, it is kind of loud with the nightlife. This is Lemur House, historic oceanfront inn. This is the Lobster Shack, it says. But you know what I'm talking about? Like, the buildings are very, very old. But I guess they're sturdy. I mean, they've been able to survive many hurricanes and storms down here. There'll also be tons of places to rent these golf cart style vehicles, as well as these Vespas. They say that's the best way to get around Key West. I was looking at some of the prices. It says it's around $90 per day to rent a Vespa. We're now coming up on Simon Street. That's another thing you'll notice in Key West. All of the electrical infrastructure, like the telephone poles, they're concrete, they're not wood, which makes sense. I feel like they should do that all throughout Miami. This is Anne's Cuban Cafe. And then these are more resorts by the water down here. Let's take one more look at the water and then we'll head up. Wow, it's really, really nice in the morning. I would say at night, the nightlife is pretty crazy. So if you're more a quiet person, maybe taking a day trip to Key West would be best. Because it does get quite noisy, particularly on the main Duval Street. And there you have a straight shot to the water. This is the Reach. I think that's another chicken just off to our right. You can see him right there. Alright, now we're going to head northbound, and we'll keep walking north all the way up until the main marina. This is one of those hop-on, hop-off Key West tour buses. Look at this thing. There's so many different motels here. I would assume the vast majority of the infrastructure in Key West is geared largely towards tourists. I wouldn't suspect many people actually live here full time, being that it is quite the hike to get to. This is now the corner of United Street. Where we will now make a left. Look at these teeny little beach homes here that they've converted into cafes. This one says Frenchie's Cafe. Love that, so unique. And then here you have more of the roosters. It's fascinating how they just live. There's just so many. Sometimes you'll see them flying into the trees at night. Here's another one. Hey.
Morning.
Morning. Let's see how bad the street parking is. Pay to park Key West. $6 an hour to park. $60 will be the max, which will buy you 10 hours. It's a good thing to keep in mind. Look at this pink house here. At the corner, we're going to make a right, and this will be Duval Street. This is really the main drag in Key West. It also kind of gets very noisy, it gets very loud, but it is quite fun. There is a coffee shop that I really wanted to try here. Maybe I'll try it after I film this video. It's called the Black Rifle Coffee Company. And I believe it's only a few blocks up here, so I'm very curious about it. I'll make sure to point it out on this video, but once again, it's called the Black Rifle Coffee Company, and they have a physical location here. I never even knew that they had physical locations. I thought it was just an e-commerce brand. Here you can see some new construction here. Looks like concrete, which is definitely very fitting. But as I was saying before, most of the homes in the building infrastructure, you can see here a rooster, are properties like this. I mean, they look beautiful, but very surprised that these have withstood hurricanes. You have a lot of these little breakfast and lunch spots. It's very unique, to say the least. Banana cafe and crepes. You can hear the roosters going crazy. There's more breakfast places. And that going by is the conch train. I really just like looking at all the buildings. This is now the corner of Catherine Street. And just across the street to our left, you have Cuban Coffee Queen. On the low end here, from what I was looking at, you can probably get a hotel room for about $160. But most of them that I saw online for like a decent Airbnb were well over $250. Take a look at some of the buildings from across the street here. You could really feel the sun here, though. Here's a real estate shop. Out of curiosity, let's go ahead and check out how much like a little beach rental would be here. Two bedrooms, 3 bathrooms for $895 condo. And this is a home for $2.8 million. In my personal opinion, I feel like those prices, or a lot of that product, isn't moving very well. Perhaps you could get a little bit of a better deal, but I don't know, for me personally, I mean, I love Key West, don't get me wrong. I really, really am enjoying my time here. But I will say it does feel like very, very far out. And perhaps that's a good thing if you're a retiree or something like that, but it's definitely a vacation spot exclusively Key West. The reason why I like Miami, Florida is because you kind of have the best of both worlds, so to speak. You have the weather of Key West, the climate, but you're also close to a lot of infrastructure. Well, here's that Life is Good store. Beautiful architecture though, my God. And then of course you have a ton of cigar places. Here we have the Island Cigar Factory. Being so close to Cuba makes sense to have a lot of cigar places.
What's going on, Bubba?
Hey, what's up?
You gonna walk around bored to death out there? You wanna get on that jet ski? Have some fun.
Yeah, have a good one, man. See ya. Look at this little Circle K convenience shop. To the left here is where you could rent those Vespas, as well as these golf carts. You could even rent regular bicycles too. For a regular bicycle, it's $10 for the day. Scooters say $35 all day. Look at this place, Duval Gardens Bed and Breakfast. Even though it's about 9:19 a.m., you really are starting to feel the sun. It is extremely hot. right on the corner here is the Black Rifle Coffee Company. I'm actually quite curious about this place. I believe this is U.S. military owned. That's so cool. See, I always thought this was just an e-commerce brand, but I guess not. What do you guys think? Very unique.
Son, do you know what time it is? I'm sorry. We can tell you.
Since your dad's a veteran, our whole family can join in. Savings discount and reward living service.
All veterans and their families are.
I bought a damn picture.
And then there's Zaxby's Chicken Finger Taco. So what makes a Zaxby's Chicken Finger Taco a Zaxby's Chicken Finger Taco?
And then this is all the way in the back where you would order. I'll have to come back here. It's definitely a very unique store. America's Coffee. I've seen it online. I've seen it on the internet, but never been to the physical storefront. Well, if you want to come here yourself, it's right on the corner of Duval Street. And Truman Avenue, or US Highway 1. Since we have the light, we'll continue straight, and then we'll head up. We'll get one more look at the physical retail storefront here. So again, if you want to check out Black Rifle Coffee Company when you come to Key West yourself, just come right to the corner of Duval Street, as well as US 1 or Truman Avenue. But for now, we'll continue to head north. You have more hand-rolled cigars. This place does definitely give off a little bit of a Cuban vibe. This place is 915 Bar and Restaurant. This place has these giant skeletons. Quite the interesting place. Yeah, all along Duval you have a lot of these interesting tiki bar places. Again, right now it's barely, what did I say? It's about 9:20 a.m. So a lot of the stuff on Duval will be closed, but it's actually, in my opinion, nicer walking it at this time because at night it is crazy. More cigar lounges. Could hear the roosters going again. You also have a lot of key lime pie places, which I've tried many of them when I was here. More bike and scooter rental places here. We're walking northbound. We'll get to the water pretty soon. This is Bahama Village. Let's take a detour to the left and explore some of the side streets. really like those white flowers up against that pink facade. They're really beautiful creatures. It's cool how they're just walking around. They don't really mind humans. It's as if you're walking through another world here. Wow, I love this. This little teeny yellow house here. Here's some more walking down the street and walking down the sidewalk. Perhaps they think I have food or something like that. This is now Whitehead Street. And across the street you'll have the Bahama Village Market. They definitely do keep it clean here, though, I will say that. For the amount of partying that goes on here.
Each check-in will be coming here.
I really like the tiny homes. Cocoa Plum Inn. Looks pretty nice with the pool in the back. This is now South Hart Street. The Courthouse Deli. You can see more of the roosters and the chickens across the street. Alright everyone, if you enjoyed that walking tour of Key West, Florida, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and as always, we will see you in the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Take care.